Guys, I interrupt this intro to bring you Zeus. Everybody has been asking me to see Zeus, so I'm going to move the camera around, show you Zeus, especially if you're not following me on Instagram because he makes daily appearances there, I feel like. So you can see this lovely Zeus because he does make a walking and barking appearance throughout this video. Also want to tell you before I click over to Zeus, I talk a lot in this video. I'm going to put timestamps for all the questions, so check in the description box before you give it a go. Hey Zeus, come here. Everybody wants to see you. Oh, hi. Say hi to everybody. He's so big, it's hard to get him in the frame. Say hi. Yeah, there's you, shaky booty. That's Zeus. He's our English Mastiff. He does have a corkscrew tail. And he is finished with us. So there was Zeus. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a very highly requested video to film for you today. I've had people comment on YouTube videos. I've had people comment on Instagram posts. And I have had people send me DMs on Instagram asking me to do this tag. And it is the 21 question makeup tag. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I believe Abby Glines is the one who started this. So I want to give credit where credit is due. When people start asking me to do a tag, I automatically tell myself not to watch any of the tags. So I have not watched any. I pulled one up so that I could get a list of the questions to ask, but I don't like watching any before I film stuff like this because I don't want my answers to be swayed in any way. I don't want me to be like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. That's so true. And then have my answer be the same. I want to be very original in my answers, very truthful. Basically, the first answer that came to mind is what I want to answer the question with. I just don't want to have any outside influence. So I may have the same answers to these questions as other people. I may have totally different ones. I just don't know. So let's go ahead and get started because I have a feeling I'm going to be talking a lot. Question number 1. What is the oldest piece of makeup in your collection? Now, I do tend to go through my collection every year or so and weed out the things that I know are expired, especially when we're talking about liquids and creams. I do label everything that comes in as far as the date that it arrives at my house, the date that I start using it, so that I can easily look at it and say, I've had this for too long, it needs to not be used anymore. So I don't have anything that like reaches back 15 years, but I do think the oldest thing I have in my collection is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. This is so old that it's in the chunky packaging. They have long since put it in their thin eyeshadow packaging, and I've had it for a very long time. I mean, I would gather to say I've probably had it for like 7 years, and I love it. As you can see, I've hit pan on 3 shades. I would still use this. I don't feel like they're bad. It takes a lot longer for powders to go bad than it does creams or liquids, but I don't envision myself ever getting rid of this just because it was such a fun purchase for me. It's got good memories attached to it. Definitely, as far as I know, looking through all my drawers, would be one of the oldest in my collection. My most recent makeup purchase, I don't even have yet. So I will stick a picture of it, but I purchased the One Size setting powder from Patrick Starr's makeup line because I've heard so many people talk really good things about it, say really good things about it, and I wanted to give it a try. So I actually only purchased the mini because heavens knows I don't need another setting powder in my collection, and I like when companies offer minis. So I purchased that and it is on its way to me. So obviously that's my most recent. First makeup product that I ever used. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to remember. I don't think lip smackers count because I'm pretty sure that's the very first makeup product that my mom ever let me use. But I would probably venture to say it was some kind of mascara. And if I had to guess, it was from Merlorman because that's where my mom shopped. And I feel like I remember mascara being the first thing she allowed me to wear. And you better believe whenever she said I could wear something, I hopped right on it. And I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But I mean, my memory is going every year, so I could be wrong. But if memory serves me right, I would say a Merlorman mascara. The next one was I love this question. What is a makeup trend that I used to love, but now I hate? And I feel like the two, because the next one that kind of corresponds with this, it's just a vice versa type of thing. And I feel like maybe they're not trends, they're more techniques, because I personally don't really go with the makeup trends. I like what I like, and if it's 10 years old and nobody ever does it anymore, I'm still going to do it because I like it. But a technique that I used to love and I used to do, but now I just really don't, is twofold. And it's lighter concealer under the eyes and really long triangles, forehead, nose, cupid's bow, and chin. Now, I'm not going to say I never put it in those places. I do not draw the huge triangles like I used to. I really just want to put just a little bit right here and blend up. And I absolutely do not like light mascara, light concealer on myself anymore. I really don't even like to go a shade lighter. I mean, I guess some of my concealers are, but I really like to go skin tone. I want it to match my foundation. I feel the best that way. I just don't feel like myself when I have bright under eyes. I don't think it does anything to flatter me personally. Now, on the flip side, the next question is, what is a makeup trend that I used to hate, but now I love? And I'm not, hate is a very strong word any way you use it. And I'm not saying that I ever hated it. It's just something I never did. And I'm teaching myself that it's okay not to, and that would be setting my foundation. And I think that just comes with age. I'm not saying I never do it, because honestly, I really do. I'm wearing the Chantecaille Cushion Foundation today, which I don't find the need to set at all. So I have no powder on my face except for the powder bronzer that I used. And I have since been trying to go without setting other foundations, or simply just minimally setting versus putting a large layer of powder all over my face. And again, I think that comes with age. It also comes with skin type. I know people with super oily skin just don't have that luxury. So, I have normal to dry skin, and I just find that I don't need to set it as much. It looks a little bit more flattering depending on the foundation. So while I used to set every single foundation that I ever tried, no questions asked, I didn't even try them without powders. I'm giving myself a little leeway to start trying to do that now and in the future. What is my favorite step in my makeup routine? And I bet any of you who have watched more than one of my videos could easily decipher that it was foundation, or it is foundation. It is my favorite part, and I know so many of you say that I don't even need foundation, and that's very sweet of you. None of us need makeup, but it's fun for me. I like it. I don't always wear it, but 75% of the time I do. It's an enjoyable process for me, and I just love applying foundation. I love foundation as a product. I love process of applying foundation. I like kind of seeing the look transform. I just love the foundation step, and bronzer is a close second. What is a makeup product that you cannot live without? It was really hard for me to pick just one, and I'm not saying I have like a list of 10 or 20, because I don't, but I do have two, and I'm going to say two only because one of them is not necessary for everyone. It's just that I have no brows. If you've watched any of my skincare routines, you will see I don't have brows. I have hypothyroidism. I've had it for 12 years now, and basically everywhere that I want hair to grow, it doesn't. Everywhere I don't want it to grow, it does, which means I have no brows and I have to shave my face, basically. So I have hair that stops right about here. So everything from here over, I basically have to paint on every day. So I have to have a brow pencil. I can even go without a brow powder, but honestly, even if I only do my brows, it is a necessary step for me to do. Little mister decided to join us. For me to feel human. And again, not everybody has to have this step. So which is kind of why I'm going to do another product, but this is definitely one I just can't do without. Another product I can't live without, honestly, is something else that not everyone needs, and it's a corrector. I have very dark under eyes, It's hereditary, it's genetic. It doesn't matter how much sleep I get. It doesn't matter if I have absolutely no allergies, which, let's face it, I live in Tennessee. That's not a thing. Like, I have some kind of allergy 365 days a year, but that doesn't matter. They're still there. So I have to have some kind of corrector. I'm going to very quickly show you my favorites. I've been using the Chantecaille Stilo pen. This is in the shade number 3 a lot lately. It's a very lightweight, light coverage corrector / concealer. The number 3 has a peachy undertone, so I use it as a corrector, and it is so lightweight that it works really well under concealers that you put on top of it, but it doesn't have the most coverage. The Color Science Total Eye 3-in-1. This is great. It's a lighter coverage, I would say light to medium coverage, but it also has an SPF 35 in it. It's very moisturizing, and it has skincare properties as well. Along those same lines is the newer Jane Iredale Enlighten Plus. This is also SPF 30, has skincare benefits in it as well. This one is super high coverage. I would say, I'll kind of rank them in coverage in a minute. The last one that my favorite, I have pulled this out from my backup drawer, and it's the Fit Glow Beauty Corrector in Peach. And this one is more of a medium to full coverage. So if you're needing light, I would do Chantecaille. Light to medium. Did I say medium right? It sounded weird. Color Science, medium to full. Fit Glow, full. Jane Iredale. What is the worst makeup look you have ever done? I mean, there's no way I could narrow that down to one. You just look at all of my high school pictures and you can know that. And I will have to say it was probably one specific high school picture that somebody just recently tagged me in, and I honestly just want to wring his neck for it. No, I mean, I don't. But it's a friend of mine from high school, and he posted a picture and tagged me in it. And y'all, I had blue eyeshadow from my lash line to my brow. There was no room for anything else other than that blue eyeshadow. It was horrific. Like, horrific. And that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw this question, so I would have to say that. I would really have to think about it in recent times. I don't feel like I've done a look that I really did not like, because if I did, I'd just kind of take it off and start over. So my most favorite makeup look that I have ever done was one that I posted last summer, and it was one that I did on repeat a lot last summer, and I will put it up in a card. I don't even know what it was called, like my bronze makeup look or something. I just loved it. I got a ton of compliments on that whenever I wore it, no matter where I went. I found that it was super easy, and it just looked flattering on me. So that was hands down the first thing that came to mind. And I will be doing it a lot again this summer, but check out that video if you haven't seen it already. Favorite drugstore product. I am the first to admit I'm not a huge drugstore makeup person. I am not saying anybody is bad if they are. I'm not saying anybody is bad if they're not. I think everybody has a preference, and there's nothing wrong with any preference. I've gotten some hate on my channel before for not showing enough drugstore. I've never claimed to be a drugstore person. However, there are a few gems from the drugstore that I have in my collection. And the first thing that I thought of when I saw this question was my Essence makeup palettes. Now, eyeshadow palettes. I hope these are still available. I got these at Ulta. I haven't had them. I mean, I got most of them in 2020, so I feel like they're still available. I have 5 of them, and they are all 9-pan palettes. I don't like the fact they're 9-pan. I like things to be symmetrical, so I would love for it to be 10, but that's okay. This is Salut Paris, or Paris. Hola Rio. I'm just about to drop them all. They have a good mix of matte and shimmers. There's Bonjour Montreal, Allo Berlin, and my favorite, Hey LA. I just love the pinks and peaches in this palette. All of them are very, very, very well formulated. I've never had an issue with these eyeshadows. I never have them not blend or look good. Every single look that I've done with these has come out great, and they're $10. So highly recommend these. I will hopefully be able to find them and link them. My favorite splurge makeup product would have to be a culmination of 4 products, and I recently did a video ranking them, and I would have to say it was my Chantecaille foundations. I have the Cushion Foundation on today. It is a splurge. I mean, I think it's $128. I mean, it's not cheap. Chanticleer is not cheap. They never claim to be. So I splurge on foundations in general, but I feel like my favorite splurge within my foundation collection is definitely my Chanticleer foundation. So I will also put that ranking video up in a card. If you haven't seen that, I do a demo of each one. I talk about who each one would work for the best. So if you're interested in Chanticleer foundations, definitely check that one out. My most repurchased makeup product. I feel like when we think about our most repurchased products, bye, they aren't necessarily exciting. And I feel like it's because it's things that we use in the background of our day. It's stuff we use every single day. We don't really think of it. It's just kind of on autopilot. Typically, we usually have backups of these, and that's where these two fall in. And I did pick two because they are along the same lines, and I honestly don't know which one I have used more of. It would have to be my Jane Iredale lash conditioner. I use this as a primer for my lashes every single day. A lot of times I will use it at night as well. It has been a long time favorite, and I have just gone through countless tubes. Countless. And I always have countless backups. I think I probably have 2 or 3 backups in my drawer because I just don't want to be without. I also have one that's open in my rotating skincare thingy in my bathroom because, again, I like to use it at night, and there's no point in me walking back and forth when I have so many to use. So that, and then the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. This is what I use every single day on my lower lashes. I am sure I have used other mascaras in the past that work great on lower lashes, but I don't even try them. I like the wand on this. It's super small. It's perfect for your lower lashes. I'm not going to get any smudging. It's a tubing mascara, so it needs warm water to come off. So basically, it is not smudging, flaking, doing anything throughout the day, which is a necessity for me on my lower lash line. I love this stuff. And again, countless tubes of both of them. So most definitely my repurchase makeup products. What is my earliest makeup memory? Now, I don't know if this was meant to be my earliest makeup memory on myself. I skipped one. Yep, I skipped one. I'll go back. I don't know if this was meant to be on myself or just makeup in general. But I kind of took it as makeup in general, and it is basically associated with my Nana, who I've talked about vaguely before on this channel, but I had 2 grandmas on 2 totally different ends of the spectrum. I had one grandma who's from West Nashville, and if my family's motto is anything to tell about who she is, we ain't bashful, we're from West Nashville, okay? Yes, that is my dad's side of the family's motto. So she was from West Nashville. She told you like it was. She'd go to the grocery store in curlers. Like, she just didn't care. Then I had my Nana, my mom's mom, who would wear, I don't know the brand, but it was kind of an uppity brand. She lived in Florida, and she didn't go to Publix without a matching pantsuit on. Okay. And her hair and her makeup were done to the nines every day. So my earliest memory is watching her do her makeup in her bathroom in Florida. And I loved that bathroom because it had a door that went out to the pool, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I was just enthralled. I was like, this is what I get to do when I get older. And then I remember her Elizabeth Arden Red Door. That was her perfume. She wore it all the time. And I always remember that red bottle or the red top sitting on her vanity. And that was it's just a whole makeup. Like, I have smells that resonate with that memory. And I feel like that was the earliest one that I have. The one that I skipped is what sparked my love for makeup. And I'm going to say product. Product is the whole entire reason I ever got into makeup. I'm so enthralled with products. I think the process of making a product, the process of trying to make it stand out, the marketing behind a product, the uniqueness of it, the performance of it, everything about a product is like, ooh, that is my love. That is what sparked my love for makeup. And those products started with the freebies from Merle Norman. When I was younger, I mean, my mom was not going to buy me makeup, especially when I'm super young, but she shopped at Merle Norman, and I always asked her to go whenever I saw a sign on their door that said they had a gift with purchase. Because if anybody remembers Merle Norman, I know they're still a thing, but they were big in gift with purchases. I don't know if they still are, but I would always want her to buy her makeup then so that she would get those gift with purchases that had like 5 or 6 different samples in it, and she would give those to me. And I grew my collection from an age of elementary school from Merle Norman samples, and that is what sparked my love. I would open them, I would swatch them, I would inspect the mascara brush. I mean, it was a thing. I still think I should have gotten into the production of makeup, like somehow, some way. That's where my true soul love is. So that's what sparked my love of makeup. What is my favorite place to shop for makeup? I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm going to say directly from the brand sites, because now I don't always do this, but because you can typically get better deals. They tend to run sales more often than the larger retailers. A lot of them have codes that, like, if you sign up for their emails, you get a 20% off your first order. There are lots of good deals and even gifts with purchases that can be found directly from a makeup site, a brand's site, than buying from a large retailer. Now, I'm not saying I don't buy from a large retailer, but I also have pro discounts with a lot of companies. So I will shop directly through them for that purpose as well. I just think it's something that people don't necessarily think about all the time, but should. Y'all, I'm talking so much. Most underrated product. I will go through this fast. I personally think it's a kind of category of products, and it's hydration sprays. Not setting sprays, but hydration sprays. I see people use setting sprays all the time. I see people with dry skin using setting sprays, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Alcohol is like the first ingredient. It's going to dry your skin out more. If you've got dry skin, typically you don't have necessarily issues with your makeup staying anyways. Hydration sprays are the way to go. I love the Jane Iredale sprays, the Palmist hydration spray, the Smell the Roses hydration spray. Love the Chantecaille rose water. And I also really like the Lila Bee a glow face mist. Somebody must be dropping something off. FedEx. He is such a guard dog. I love it. Okay, next one is most overrated product. I have 2, and they're both within the foundation category. One of them, I'm not going to say I don't like. I just think it's so hyped up that there are so many other products now that are similar, if not better, that I just feel like the hype is a little much. And it's the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Again, I'm not saying I don't love this. I have had this in my kit in the past. I have used it for my personal stash in the past. It's a great foundation, but it is super hyped up as like the best foundation ever. You can't read an article where they're like makeup artists tell you their favorite foundations. And this is always number 1 on the list. Everybody talks about it as a must-have. And again, I don't dislike it at all. I don't really have a ton of cons to say about it. It's just not the best. And I just feel like the hype is huge. Now, another foundation that I feel like the hype is huge that I absolutely do not like is the La Mer Soft Fluid Foundation. I need to do a video on products that worked out for everybody else in the world but me, because I feel like I'm the only one that didn't like it. But oh my goodness, I did not like it. It looked hideous on my skin. And I bought it 2 different times because I was just bound and determined for that sucker to work for me. And it just never did. Super overhyped in my personal opinion. Discontinued product that I wish would come back. I will put a picture of it. It was an It Cosmetics foundation that was in one of my top 5 foundation videos. And they brought that sucker out in February, and by May, it was gone. And the only excuse they gave was that it was not meeting the expectations that they put out for the product, so they decided to pull it from the shelves. Something bigger had to have happened, because everybody I talked to or saw talk about it on a video really liked it. It was great. I loved that foundation. Mine has since expired. I had to get rid of it. I mean, I love the new one they just brought out. It's not like the end of the world because these are all first world problems anyways, but I just I was a little sketchy on the reasoning behind them pulling it. I don't know what else it could have been, but I was very upset with that. Where do I get my makeup inspiration? I'm not one that like goes out looking for inspiration for makeup. I just kind of do it by how I feel, what I'm gonna wear. So I would say, I guess clothes give me inspiration for how I'm gonna do my makeup. I also really like nature for how I'm gonna do my makeup. Chad's a photographer, so he'll take pictures and I look at it, especially in the spring and summer when the flowers are blooming, and I'm like, oh, yeah, those colors look really good together, you know, and then I'll try to do something kind of similar. I mean, I'm an Instagram scroller. I love that. If I see a look, I may try to recreate it, but I'm not going to say I get all of my inspiration from that. I kind of just do what I feel like doing. Maybe boring, but it's true. Last two questions. What do I want to see less of in the future of makeup? This was easy for me. I want to see less of these constant launches. I mean, it is becoming ridiculous. And it's been pretty ridiculous for a couple years now. I have no desire to keep up, but even if I wanted to, there was no way that I could. I've never been someone that overnights something so that I can get up a first impression. For YouTube, that's a rat race I will never win. I don't want to do it. It's too stressful. And it's like when I see something that's going to launch, which just made me think about it, something that launched yesterday that I wanted, and I just couldn't keep up. And I tell myself to remember it. It's hard to remember it when by the next day I've already seen 8 other things that are launching. It's just so overwhelming. Nobody in their right mind needs as much makeup as I have or as much makeup as is launching. And I'm getting so overwhelmed, I'm stepping back and I'm like, I think I'm just going to use what I have. Like, I can't keep up, don't want to keep up. It's getting crazy. What do I want to see more of in makeup in the future? I want to see the fun of makeup come back. I want the peace to come back in makeup. And what I mean is I can't read a new launch post or see a post about a product without so much division in the comments. And I get it. There needs to be more inclusivity in our makeup brands. I totally agree with that. But because there's not, it's created such a division, and I just want the fun and the peace to come back in makeup. So I hope that brands can listen. I hope they all start being more inclusive to where inclusivity isn't even a thing anymore because it's just a given that every single person that wants to wear makeup is going to be able to wear makeup from every brand, and that we can just all have fun with makeup again. That is what I want more of in the future from makeup. I just talked for like 35 minutes, so sorry. I will put timestamps down in the description box because I know this is a lot and maybe I'll only care about a few answers. But hopefully you enjoyed this, especially all the ones that really asked for me to do this. It was fun for me to answer questions like this. I enjoy doing tags like this. If there's another one you want to see me do, please let me know. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. I hope you're all staying happy, healthy, safe, and sane. And most of all, you go out and have a very blessed day.